And we are live. Hello, everyone. I forgot to press the live button, so I was just talking to myself for a little bit, for a few moments. So you can be watching from anywhere around the country or the world, and I appreciate everybody, all the love and support. We've been having some great streams recently. We've been doing very well with that, and we playing the game and hanging out and talking and chatting. All right, and in a moment I'll be switching over to this other screen to show you all what's going on, okay? Alright, here we go. One moment. Okay. Switching over. Alright, hello, it's me. I'm looking quite blue right now. So we're gonna fix that. Although it's a nice look. It's a nice look, but we could see me a little bit better right here. Okay. Alright, so hello everybody. It's nice to see. It is nice to be here for this late stream and we playing the game and chatting and stuff. So we're going to be launching the game right now. Okay. For those that are interested in the game. Alright. And we'll see how the audiences, if they come through, or people could just watch this as a replay. It's all fine. Alright, and the game is launching. Alright. I launched it a little while ago, and now we're relaunching it this time. Alright, game is loading. Alright, so anyway. So basically, I thought it was a good day with the stream. We're talking about the different UFOs and very interesting information, And alright, did I switch it over? I didn't switch it over. Here we go. Alright, there we go. Okay. Alright. Alright, here's the game. Hey, DJ. Great to see you, buddy. Alright, yeah. So here's the game. That's the Big Dipper. And this is my pirate up close. Right there. Okay. Alright. So on this island, you have these different places. We'll go... there's ships, there's different stuff. And I hope you're doing well, DJ. It's nice to see you at the stream. Okay, so... Alright, so it's like a virtual world, pretty much. Let's see if I'm going the right way. Because they have some characters from the movie that are here. Alright, so at this place specifically, right here. Right here, there is Captain Jack Sparrow right there. Make sure this is showing up. We're going to put it right there. Okay. Yeah, that is Captain Jack Sparrow right there, Johnny Depp's character. So they have the real characters from the movie in this game, and then you have, that is Gibbs, his partner right there, and it's a place where you could do different card games in here. They'd have quests, so the game will have different quests and levels that people can improve in. Okay, so here we go. It is 3:25, but I'm early to the stream. Yeah, and with the yeah, it sounds late. Yeah, where I am, it's 2:26. It looks just like Sea of Thieves. Oh yeah, yes, absolutely. I agree with that. And so, as you know, I do early lives and I do late night lives, and I do them at different. The late night lives. Usually, I do the late night lives a little bit earlier than this, and but it's been a little bit since I've done it, and a lot of times there's people on the West Coast. Oh yeah, DJ, that's exactly what we do. This is a smaller ship that I have. It's a smaller ship, and I'll show you the bigger one, which is over here. We're going to see. I have a couple different ones. You could fight other players, or you can fight the NPC ships. All right. Oh, there isn't a mechanism to put people in the brig. No, that that would be cool if they had that in this game, but they don't have that here. You can't even really go inside the ship because when I first started, when I was growing up, when I was like I was a kid doing this game, you can't go inside the ship. So you have like right here, you can't go inside of this ship. So you just kind of only could walk on the outside of it. The game has musical instruments, but the players don't play them. It's the NPCs, like at the bar, they have some areas where people could play some music, and you could like pay a couple of pennies to hear a certain sound, kind of like a jukebox, but it's like the band plays it, but not like instruments the players can play. No, but those are good ideas the game should have. All right, these are NPC. These are the Navy. This is the Navy and also the East India Company. Also,
Scared.
okay, and this is an intense battle right here. Thank you. That is a game that I'll have to try out at some point because I've never heard of Sea of Thieves until I played this game. Many people recommended it. I've seen like videos and pictures of it, and it's similar to this, but I haven't played it. No. Yeah. So yeah, we have. Is there a way to sneak up on a ship? Yeah, there is ways to. I don't know exactly. Like, well, basically, what we do is you sail towards the ship, and you could increase the speed of the ship to hit another ship, but I don't know the sneaking up on it. Yeah, you could be stealth where they can't really know that you're there. Yeah. Now, if there's some sort of special mechanism to another game that I'm not aware of, then I don't know. But yeah, like so, say we're gonna try this ramming speed. That's something cool about this. It's kind of like sneaking up on it. All right, so I'm gonna kind of go here, getting the position. Oh yeah, so we're gonna go out here and hit this other ship. Way to sneak up on it. All right, so taking aim. Okay, here we go. Ramming speed. There you go. Snuck up on the ship and hit it. There's all kinds of islands where there's different critters and enemies to fight, also. And they have some pretty cool caves. Alright, and the Phantom ship is very similar to the Flying Dutchman. That's what those... There are zombie pirates on there. That's what they're like on that one. Yeah, and then on these other islands where you have France or Spain, you could play to go and take out the other ships. And then when you achieve a certain level with the pirate flag, yeah, the pirate flag you see, it increases to a certain level where you get the skull and crossbones, and the whole entire navy goes after you. Okay, you see the ship right here where it's red, and it has the red sails. Here, I can't show up close. Well, I can show up close. All right, you see that ship where it's at the navy. You know, that's the navy right there with the red checkerboard, and it has like a red sign right there, and also the dark ships with the black and white checkerboard is also a bot. And the pirate, the ones that look like the zombie ships, and the way you tell an ally is that it'll have a certain type of, the wording is colored differently and the ships look different. And if you fire at a friendly ship, you can't, it doesn't let you sink it.
Scared.
Now they can launch a certain type of fireball that will instantly sink the ship. Alright, so this is where you can fire grappling hooks at the ship right here to sink it or to board it. Alright, so this is the ship up close. Right, come on. Alright, there we go. Is that gonna, let's see if I'm able to get it. I have to go a little bit closer. Let's see. Alright, so basically, which I've done this before, you have to kind of like shoot the grappling hooks at it, or else, because you basically it's sinking it, or you could board the ship. All right, get a little bit closer. Right there. All right, there we go. Now, I don't have a big enough crew to defeat the enemy, but I'll go board the ship to show you what it looks like on there. All right. All right. Because it's so, there's so many of them that I'm doing pretty well. Let's see. Yeah, and then they knocked me out because usually you would have a crew to go with you to help you give support. But yeah, that's basically what it looks like on there. Then that's my ship right there. And yeah, and usually you would have a crew with you and you go and fight them. But yeah. Then this is what happens when you get defeated. When you get defeated, you go to this jail right here. All right. All right, so see right here, they have this skeleton right here. He's been in locked up for a very long time. And then you just press shift and you're able to get out. All right, then we're walking up here this way. Tortuga is in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. By the way, now I'll also show you like in here. This is another, another place to go into. You could, like, basically if you're on a quest, you could go talk to the person and remember that a lot of loot can be found in the belly fish of the pirates are catching. All right, you see you have different stuff in here. Like sometimes you could look through things, or you could do a quest for people. And this is a model of one of the ships, the sloop, which is the same type of ship that Blackbeard, the real Blackbeard, used in the beginning of his pirating career. Like what we're talking about last time. Now, there are still pirates in the Caribbean, but they're not as active as they used to be. And a lot of times they have these little tiny boats, these little speed boats. They don't use the big ships anymore. I think like what they would hypothetically do would be to, if they were able to capture a bigger ship, what they do is they loot it or they hold people for ransom, but they don't think to take the bigger ship and just use that instead. They don't think to do that. They just go and that's probably what these pirates did in this time period. That's why their ships were so big. But they're Timu pirates. They're the ones now. Oh, facts. Hello, Gregatron. It's a pirate's life for me. Yo ho, yo ho. Hey, Gregatron. I've been doing. It's nice to see you again, buddy. It's been a while since I've seen you. And with the trial chat people, I've been doing a lot of streams with them. And it's been doing great on the channel with the streams, breaking records with it. And yeah, I had a great stream earlier, and we're doing good. I'm just showing DJ the game. This is a place, I guess, where you get clothes. Let's see. Yeah, you see, you could buy some clothes here. You could buy like a hat. I already have most of the stuff in my plunder that I've, looted before from other ships. But yeah, that's basically, see all that matches. That's pretty cool. And yeah, these different clothes you could customize the pirate with. Oh, that's pretty cool. You have that. You have all kinds of stuff the pirate can wear. And be all dapper. Yeah, so we're just chilling with the game and hanging out. Talking about different stuff. And Gregatron, I hope that you're doing well. And Gregatron has a cool channel. And also DJ does as well. Both of them do. Alright. Now this is an area where it's like a lockbox. Like treasure chests. This is a locksmith. The game, there's also a bank in this game. Yeah, so look all the chests. Now you can't actually buy these, if I recall correctly. It's just like you go here for different quests. But this is like where you could buy a treasure chest, and usually they call them trunks. And this is where you do that. Heard phantoms are on Raven's Cove at night. Oh yeah, the Raven's Cove. Yeah, Raven's Cove. It's like a creepy haunted island. And oh, hello there, Virginia Possum. Oh, it's a delight to see you. I like your picture. You changed to. I'm glad to see you here. Welcome. we had some great streams earlier, and now we're just playing the game and talking about a variety of different things and showing around. Yeah, this is an. Hope you're doing well, Virginia Possum. All right, Rose. All right, so you have different tattoos. Like you could put a tattoo on the pirate. Let's see. Now this is for a certain level you would be able to achieve these kind of tattoos, but I'll show you the other area where they have the tattoos are accessible to this character. Now you have like basically say infamy, so it's a certain level, a certain not a level, but you accomplish a certain thing and you're able to get to that. And I'm not familiar with that quest. Oh, I'm doing good. I had a great day watching the trials and the trial schedule. So the trial schedule is not what it used to be. So they wanted me to go live. It's my group of friends. You know how like at Smoke and Scan we have a group of friends. There's another group of people from the trial chat, and we all come and hang out. Although on Friday evenings usually, but we've every day I've been doing it, and it's been a blast. It really has been, and talking about aliens and animals, all kinds of different stuff. So I've been my day was great. Yeah, can't complain. All right. Yeah, so that's where a bunch of meat. So that's where they would eat their food. So this is like a grocery store for that time period. This is what it would have looked like. Kind of like a homeless shelter, but better. Well, Virginia Possum, you know about the homeless and the we see on in Cali the tents and stuff. This is much nicer, but it's there's no buildings or anything. It's all outside. Yeah, and you have some different potatoes, and you have some salads and different veggies to eat and garlic. As I said, you can't literally go and eat them. It's kind of like a GTA pirate game, but you can't really do like there's you can't have a it's not a house or you can't buy the food or stuff like you probably do in GTA. But yeah, so say you could search that box and for a quest. So it has to do with stuff for quests. All right. So what is? I'm not too sure what this place is exactly. I guess it's like an office. All right. So this map right here is the map of the old world, of the new world. Not the old world, but it's an old map of the new world. That's what they thought it looked like. It's kind of accurate, but not quite. And there's actually a place over in the Caribbean off the coast of in the Gulf of Mexico. You could kind of see it in that map. There's a in the Gulf of Mexico you see there's a dot there. I don't know how well y'all could see the dot, but basically there is supposed to be an island there and they don't know exactly what happened to it or if somebody when they're making the maps they either made a mistake or somebody wanted an island and they didn't want someone else knowing about it. But or what happened they think is the island sunk underwater. They're not too or the government of Mexico had it sunk somehow. It's a mysterious thing, but yeah, there's a dot in the Gulf of Mexico because there's supposed to be an island there, but it disappeared. It's crazy how they were able to do that without any satellites to map out the continent like that without any satellites or internet. It's incredible. They had to like travel around with a ship and just measure everything. It took a long time. Of course, there's probably some. I don't know exactly how it's done. There's probably some more simple way to do it. All right, so you have this banana tree right there, and you have those palm trees, and you can see about restoring this ship. All right, and this is where you could dig for treasure right here. Okay, so compare this. Right. This is a clique of people that are chilling there. You know, yeah, these people are pretty good at sinking ships. So you see how they have those little badges in front and their name. You see when you have a crew, and you have a couple other people. You could play as these different countries and sink other ships. You know, sink each other's ships. Which I play that game, but not as often. Which when the other pirate game that before when Disney had the original version, I was a mariner. I was a high ranking mariner, a captain from the navies that were there that they had. All right, so looks like there's no ships. Ah, here we go. There's a ship out here. All right, increasing the speed. Oh, okay. Look at this. This is a glitch. Okay, so this is a glitch. The game is glitching. So I fell through the ship. This is what I call Davy Jones' locker when this happened. So the game glitched, and I fell through it. But you could see that there's the cannons and the other things. But usually, by default, you can't usually see these parts of the game. You can kind of see up at the top. Let's see if I could swim and show you all the whole ship. As I said, this is a glitch. And this is like Davy Jones' locker. Because you see, look, similar to the Pirates of the Caribbean in the movie, where he was in Davy Jones' locker, Captain Jack Sparrow, and his ship was just stuck in the middle of nowhere. That's basically what this place is.
Scared.
Alright, so, and I'll have to see about resetting the game to do the gameplay that I want to show y'all, but yeah, so that is, yeah, those are some of the designs on the ship. And I'm going to kind of show y'all some more of it right here. Okay. All right, you see, just like the movie. All right, up there, all around. Also, the possums are doing good, and the cats, all the little animals are doing good, by the way. But you see, the game, you can't go inside the ship or go on the balcony or anything. That's something they should have added to the game. Okay, you have that. Alright, so you have, and those are the sails. Alright, let's see if it teleports me to... We'll go back to Tortuga, and now we're going to go back on the sea. Alright. Alright, so this is like a tour of the ship that you can access. Alright. Some cannons right here. Oh, look, that's a bounty hunter ship out in the distance, and they attack the ship when you get too many points on it. When you get to... Yeah, that's what they do. When your level gets too high. The bounty hunters are bots. Yeah, that ship's glitched out. That's why it's stuck there. And you usually don't have them this close to Tortuga, ever. Alright. These are some tiny ships. Yeah. Yeah, they are pesky. There's the volcano island, and see, that's Cuba over there, like the real, like Cuba, but from hundreds of years ago. Okay, I think the volcano island is right that way. Oh, there's another Pirates of the Caribbean character on this island.
Scared.
Okay. All right, showing the first island right here. Got some copper bars. Okay. You have these little crabs right here. This is for like this area is like a lower level. You know, they're easy. They're not really that difficult to attack. Well, my level is 46. So it's easier for them to, do that. All right. This is the voodoo staff. Right here. Well, we have to go and switch this gear right here. Let's see. This is the first cave. Alright, so here is Captain Barbossa from Pirates of the Caribbean. This is where the scene where, in the first movie, they're trying to, the skeleton, the zombie pirates, like Barbossa, and then we're trying to get the blood of the Turner to free them from their eternal suffering, like the cursed Aztec gold. This is the cursed Aztec gold right here. Yeah, and that's him from the movie. Eating his apple, it's pretty cool. So, they have the same exact characters. And then you have his monkey right here. And no matter what you do, this monkey does not get deleted. It's invincible. Because just like in the movie, it can't be defeated. Because it's immortal. Alright, so yeah, they have all the treasure here. Tons of treasure. This is when you get from when you do the Navy stuff. You're able to get these certain tattoos on the body. Pretty cool. So going here. Yeah, let's see some other areas of the cave. Alright, not really much. This is just it. Alright. It's a pretty vanilla cave. It's kind of like, there's caves, there's catacombs where they have a bunch of zombie pirates and it gets real dark. And like there's lava and stuff, so yeah, alright. So we're going to go back out to sea to the high seas, and we're going to go and continue the voyage to the volcano area where there's tons of ships to sink over there. Usually. And also there's Port Royal, where you have Elizabeth Swan and Governor Swan. I don't really recall Governor Swan. He may have been deleted. They may have him mechanically deleted. Which delete means he was, in Davy Jones' locker. So, I don't know. And then, say, the daughter took the place of him. That's why she's in the governor's mansion. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Right here. So, this is not a pirate port. So, Tortuga is a pirate port. I think, basically, in Tortuga is the same thing as what we would call Jamaica today. That's what it's called today. But they called it Tortuga back then. I think Port Royal is Jamaica also. I think that is also true. They're like both the same place, but they're two different islands. I don't know if that's exactly true, but that's what I think it might be, if I recall correctly. So yeah, this is like a little town. It looks like France. It looks kind of like something from well, this is a Disney game. It's a Disney game. So basically, you have where it kind of reminds you of some Disney movie because it is like a Disney movie because it's a Disney game. Like when I go through here, I always think it looks like a Disney movie, like from those old school movies. But I'm like, this is a Disney game, so why not? Makes sense. All right. She's a bot. Okay, an NPC. All right, so you have this whole little. So there's no houses or anything. Like this is locked. Like you can't go in here. It's just for decoration. It's pretty cool. All right, so it goes to the governor's mansion. And the gypsies over here. This is where you buy tonic to heal yourself when you get attacked. Always very useful. Okay. Alright, and this is up here. A dude chopping wood. That's a Eugene chopping wood. That's a quest for somebody that I'm on still. Okay, so giant. I don't know if they added some stuff to this game. Sometimes it just feels like they added some stuff. But yeah, this is pretty much city. Yeah. So this is the main road. Well, in here we have an interesting character in here. We have Will Turner himself. So this is Will Turner, the lover of Elizabeth Swann. So yeah, you have him doing his thing, and he's an NPC. I'm on a quest for him. The hourglass means I'm on a quest for him that is still pending. But yeah, he teaches how to do sword fighting, and I'll show you also. Take the sword out right here and jump in here, and you could just go and like kind of like a testing, because right there. Right there, kind of like target practice. This is like the shooting range, the 1700 shooting range. Right there. Aim a little bit higher. Right at the target. Alright, and we fight right here. And the way you get out of this, you kind of jump on this, and then you jump over here. And it's been 10 years since this game has been released. 10 years. And it's getting evening. It's getting nighttime. Before the night comes, let's show y'all the governor's mansion. That is a big fortress. And that is like where Elizabeth Swann fell off the giant ledge, and Captain Jack Sparrow saved her. And all right, so now we're going to the governor's mansion. All right, this is her headquarters. It's usually you see something I was like just thinking about was like this is supposed to be so that's Elizabeth Swann right there from Pirates of the Caribbean, and this is where her I guess her father would be. But as I said, I was thinking because I've never seen him in this game. That's his portrait right there. That's Governor Swann's portrait right there. But he's never in this game. Back when Disney had it, and then when they had it, well, this new group recreated it. He never had it. He was never in this game. So I think what that means is canonically he was taken out the picture because Beckett assassinated him, and he was in Davy Jones' locker. There's a disturbing scene from the movie of that actually. So, and that's Ireland. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So that's her right here, working at the desk. There. These are characters from the movie. There. Then you could do usually in the beginning of the game you do quests for her. Psst, ship upgrades are the best way to stay alive at sea. And you see when you press to talk to them, the NPCs, the bots will chat with you. A whole new set of daggers have made their way to the islands. That's good to know. So, yeah, daggers is something I've not used too much in this game recently. That's something I need to go back and do. So the skull and crossbones means there's Blackbeard. So Blackbeard's in this game too. The historical Blackbeard. They have his ship, which is quite intriguing. This is the dagger. This is my dagger, for instance. Pretty cool. All right. So her, as I said, her room, her office. This is an office from the 1700s, like what it would look like. Much better looking. The offices we have now are pretty cool, especially since the new age. But yeah, these offices were so elegant compared to the offices we have now. They're just like NPC looking offices. Yeah, but they put a lot of into their craft back then. You see all these different places you see in this game. The rich to the working class to the middle class. Everybody had nice looking artistic houses. Now, of course, the style of this is the Mediterranean. Like Spanish houses and French influenced. That's what these houses were like. My house looks very similar to that prison, but it's much nicer looking, but it's kind of like built looking like that. It's a Spanish house. Yeah, because so houses like in America, I'm in America, of course, but the American houses I think were influenced by the like British type houses. All of this is a British island technically, but and that's why the house is like you have like a pyramid roof and bricks or wood, and the other houses in different parts of Europe are very different looking. Yeah, so my aunt and uncle in England, their house looks like an NPC brick house from Roblox or Minecraft. So I admire the Mediterranean architecture and Roman architecture. British architecture is nice too. But I admire the architecture of the Mediterranean. All right, so these are some NPCs. These are British East India Trading Company officers. This is the same location where Elizabeth Swann fell off when she was with Norrington in the first movie. And DJ said, shout out to the chat and Alien Spaceship. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. All right, this is the area where she fell. She fell. You see, that's the moon about to come out incognito right there. Yeah, that is where she fell into that water. And Captain Jack Sparrow jumped off of this to save her. And that's where her and Norrington were. Because it was very tight. It was a very tight outfit she was wearing. And she fell over because it was suffocating her. Right? So this is the bookshelf, and that's the grandfather clock. I don't know when the grandfather clock came out exactly. Yeah, it's like you could search here. And also, DJ says, is it possible to play only real people, no bots? Oh, I want to explain that. Okay, so basically, to play with, yeah, it's a multiplayer game. Like, I have friends in this game. You know, this is a list of friends. And you can go and play with other players and fight them together. And you could also do a sword challenge where you could fight each other with swords, and you could fight each other with pew pews and stuff like that. And Todd says, "Hey alien, you're up late. It's 4 a.m. Eastern." Oh, hello Todd. It's late for all of us, and especially y'all on the west, on the not the west, the East Coast. Hello there, Todd. I'm glad to see you, buddy. How are you doing, Todd? Hope you're doing good. And I've been having a day of active streaming. I've been streaming all week long during the daytime, and basically, what I have people on the West Coast, as like Smoking Scan, but I know people on the West Coast from different parts of YouTube that watch the streams, and it's not as late over there. But yeah, I'm a night owl, and I'm also during the daytime too. All right, so yeah, that's the moon right there, and there's people, yeah, different people from different parts of YouTube that I have known are on the West Coast. Like when I first began years ago, there was some friends I knew from the West Coast, and it's like insanely early over there. Right. So Elizabeth Swan was a character that that character I showed y'all previously. She in the movie felt she was wearing a very tight dress because they had these very tight dresses they put women in, these vests like under their clothes, and it was like suffocating, and she passed out and fell into the water, and Captain Jack Sparrow saved her. So this is the area in the game where it actually happened. All right. Todd said, "I'm doing good, getting ready for bed. Just noticed that you're on." Okay, you have a good night. It's been a while since I've done the the late night lives. Usually the late night lives are 11 or 12 p.m. my time, but I have done them, sometimes I do it sporadically a little bit later than the usual, because usually somebody pops in, or if people don't pop in, like, it's okay. Like, I don't mind if people don't come to the streams, because I could just talk to myself and play the game. It's very, very, very rare for no one to come. Very rare. There will be at least one person. But as I said, during the daytime, that is when I I do these streams a little earlier and get a bigger crowd usually. All right. All right, going to sail off to. I've been keeping up with the Karen Reed trial, and the chat over there is very divided. All right, it's going to teleport to Cuba. And we're going to show you all the haunted island. Bloody Bayou. And over there is the haunted ship. Not the haunted ship, but there is the Queen Anne's Revenge, which is the ship from the that is Blackbeard's ship. Okay, so you see out in the distance. Let's see. Out in the distance, you have a pirate ship with a little symbol on it. That is our pirate ally right there. All right, right there. That is part of the crew, and we're going to just go here. Fire at Blackbeard's ship. Yeah, so this is an ally right here. See the cool. So that's like a ship. That's another player. That is a real player right there. Blistering Vindicator. That is a real ship. That is another player like me. Attacking the Queen Anne's Revenge. As I said, a crew is very valuable to have. Taking out the sails. Right, so now we're gonna go to the haunted island. All the sails are falling off the ship.
I'm scared.
Blackbeard's all of his sails are gone. Now he's just gonna get roasted. So that's a good method to deal with Blackbeard. Yeah, this is funny. So, yeah, it's Blackbeard's ship going down. All right, and more are hitting Blackbeard's ship, and the legendary ship's about to sink.
Scared.
All right, so we're gonna let them take Blackbeard's ship. We're gonna go to the haunted island now. They're gonna board Blackbeard's ship and either sink it or board it. All right. All right, this is a haunted island, and it's you have like so they have these zombie pirates that raid islands, but this island was not repaired because usually the game repairs it, but this is not a repaired island. It's a haunted island where many people were deleted. So they had these barricades to stop the invasion, but it didn't work. This area is a lot like California or the West Coast where there's a lot of homeless and stuff like that. This was a house. At first, it may seem like a hurricane hit it, but not exactly. All right, and look at that. Looky here. All right, you got this right here. This fella right here, and watch this. We're gonna take out our best sword. We're gonna take out our blaster. I'll show you all up close. All right, this is the sword. I'm gonna charge at him. That's the Phantom. That's the Demon Ghost. Instant deletion. Look at that creepy thing.
Scared.
That's the Phantom. It will instantly knock you out. Alright, so we have... Okay, so this is the prison in Raven's Cove. This is a ghost of a person that used to be here. Of the game. That was like we saw how in Tortuga and these other islands where you had these different people. You know, this is a ghost of one of them. You see, this area is much different. It's all ransacked and all the stuff is destroyed. Yeah. Is that a skeleton? No, it's just stuff broken down. Yeah. Oh, this is a haunted tavern. See, different than where Captain Jack was. Captain Sparrow was. They have cobwebs and stuff all up in here. Yeah, that's a couple that were, you know, they would have this pub, this tavern. It's really called, and you know, those are the ghosts. Very great graphics. Visit the tea place Rat's Nest on Tortuga. Yeah, that's a quest I'm on for them. And this is Crazy Ned. Look at this guy. This guy was a survivor on the island after the attack happened. And he's basically a crackhead. And he sits in his box at night. You know, that's like his tent. And during the daytime, he does sign language and stuff. He's quite nuts. Then you have, let's see, oh, Milky Way. This individual was deleted in his house, in his bed. Very fascinating. This one, she is a gypsy where you would be able to like. She used to do potions and sell tonic to people and stuff. But yeah, she just in this. And this is a ship that's like shipwrecked. And that's another ghost that's hanging out over there. Phantom. That's the other phantom.
Scared.
All right. And this was a track they used for mining, and that's where they would keep their, you know, precious metals and gems and things like that that they would find. Yeah, the moon doesn't even like shining its face here. It just kind of hides behind the clouds, low key. All right, and you have this place. You have this abandoned place. All right, so yeah, you have that. A couple of these different places that are not all there. Yes, yeah, so that's the moon. This time the moon's shining. From a different angle, it looks like it isn't, but yeah, that's the moon shining over this. It used to be a thriving island. It'd be nice to see like a hypothetical where this island was before it got messed up. That's a nice view. The mesmerizing lunar lights. Alright, that is the moon. And here we go. Going out to the high seas again. There's a lot to explore in this game. There's a lot. Let's go. Pari. Yeah. So that those for the East India Company and also from the undead ship. All right, so it looks like that's the sun coming back up. All right, this is the Rum Runners Island. So they have some interesting critters in this one. They have islands everywhere. There's all kinds of stuff. All right. This is the giant scorpion. All right. And usually there's quests where you would go and fight these things, but what we're doing here is just freestyling. Okay. Let's throw something at it. All right, now we're talking. Now we're talking. We're expanding the level to get more. Pirate garb. Okay. This is the giant wasps. Okay. I think they have a cellar here somewhere. All right, so this is kind of like a forest. It kind of has trees that you would see on land, but it also has like palm trees too. It's kind of interesting. I think this is the place where they have the rum cellar. If I'm not mistaken, but it's somewhere. Somewhere we'll eventually find it if it's here. That's some wood. That's a pile of wood someone cut. Okay. You have these killer wasps that are just chilling, just hanging out. All right, there's the rum cellar. It is not the rum cellar. It's just another piece of wood. I don't. I don't quite know where. Okay. It may not be on this specific island, but it was somewhere. All right. Let's see. Going around this bend. Okay. And this is this other bigger area. Very interesting. You have some Timu wasps Timuing right now. Alright, so here we go. Okay, so alright, so I do not see the cellar on this island specifically. Now what I want to just pretty much do is just go kind of go around the circumference of it to see what it's about. But this island does not really have a lot of enemies that are that serious. It's there's some islands when it's really intense. There's like everything there you could possibly think of. There's trees that don't like you. There's giant plants that don't like you. There's wasps and NPCs that don't like you. Yeah, it's some of this island is kind of very mild. All right, I think it's in here. As I said, I keep thinking that. There it is. Finally. Okay, this is the cellar. This is the rum cellar. All right, so this is the rum cellar, and this is the same island where Elizabeth Swan and Captain Jack were stuck, and she decided to burn tons of rum to alert the British Navy that she was stuck here. So yeah, this is where the rum is. This is where all the rum went. All right, and basically, one moment. I'm gonna go do this real quick. All right, here I am. All right, and this is some barrels that are stuck in the water. Okay. And yeah, so that is rum runners, and over here we just have some cool ships to sink. And so yeah, so this game has a lot of interesting things on different islands and stuff that you can, you can do here. All right, and yeah, these different ships are named different things. So you have this one right here. All right. Death Omen. Sink some more, and then I'm going to go to one of the other islands. Okay, so this island a little bit farther out is a little bit more of a serious island. Okay. Now, in this game, there's no creatures under the sea. Now, there are creatures under the sea, actually. There are. But there's not like giant squid and stuff like that. Alright, so we got the loot of copper, spices, silver bars, ivory, cotton, medicine, and wheat. I got a loot pouch, a couple other treasures. Alright, there we go. Alright, these crabs mean business. They're much bigger and scarier than the other ones. This is the edgy French undead lieutenant. Right here. And he puts up a good fight. Alright. Okay, going right here. Going back and doing that again. And bam. Yeah, so that's how it works in this island. So basically, you have this one is a more serious island where you have some more enemies, but it's not. They're not that powerful. It's more for lower levels, and you have some different tombstones, stuff like that. All right, this is the Monarch ship. Now, this ship could be very sus because it will attack you, and it has that thing on it where it could sink the whole ship with one fireball cannon thing. All right, so we're going there. And there's just open water, and you're not able to go into the ocean. It doesn't. The game doesn't go that far. All right, right down to the abyss. Facts. Now there's some rocks, and some of the rocks you can't sail on. Some of the rocks aren't. They're like little island-looking things, but they're just NPC islands. You can't really go on them. You can't really go on them. You can't go on them at all. How about that? Another thing to indicate if somebody is a pirate or not is if they have the pirate sails on their ship. That's another way to find out. All right. All right, this will be intriguing. Okay. Yeah, I love doing this when you get into the whole group and you just sink ships left and right. That's always fun. So basically, now where I am, the humidity has returned. But some days it's a little bit cooler because of some of the weather that comes in. But it's like it's not that hot. It's like it's not as hot, but the humidity really makes everything amplified. Even cold weather, it makes it amplified. Now, this region of the world where this comes from, this is where the cold weather originates. Not the cold weather, but even this area is where it's very humid. Right, went through my sails a little bit, but we're about to get them right here. Okay. All right, let's go into the volcano island. It's a little bit ways from here, but we'll get there. Cutthroat Island is also fascinating. Has some interesting critters there. Now we're going to be entering the Volcano Island, where they have some pretty cool. They have a lot of ships out here to sink, and much more powerful ones. Now this is where they have a lot of the spooky caves. There's all kinds of endless caves. I used to, when I was around 2019 and 2020, I used to just wander through them at night. Yeah. All right. That's a big volcano right there, and it likes to erupt, and it gets and it goes all over the place. I remember one time I was here, and the zombie pirates raided this place, and they completely ransacked the whole place, and it was just a few of us, so we couldn't defend it as accurately. The entrance is sequestered here. As the game has aged, they've done the graphics much better, and this is it never looked so realistic. It just looked like a place, but very realistic looking. All right, so you got basically on quests you would fight these enemies and get different points and level up. Let's get the dagger out. Let's see. Whew. Almost to level 6. So the dagger's been a while since I've used a dagger. Now I'm level 7. Alright, here we go. Oh, it didn't switch to weapon. couple of these enemies at once is always entertaining. Yeah, and these other people are in the Navy. All right. It's the lava gorge. All that lava just pouring down. This is, and the reason for this cave, it was for mining gold, silver, and gems and stuff. See, that's why somebody's shoveling right there. Brat, bad rage. And this is where they would, put the carts for mining. All right, this is the catacombs. Dagger's actually quite effective. Yeah, so I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a Navy officer. This one's a higher level, and you can put some dirt up there. Yeah, as I said, usually on quests and stuff, you would do things like this. Okay, but it's a nice cave. You have some nice lights, candle lights, and some fire. And right here, you have the pirates fighting, usually fighting each other. Now, many of them are ganging up on me. Let's see. Ah, they got me. That was not expected. Basically, I was trying to show y'all how the skeleton zombie pirates and the humans are the bot is fighting each other. It's quite funny to watch. But I didn't expect them all to jump me like that. That's why it's a good multiplayer game where you have people to heal you and stuff. Alright, so now we're in the prison of the this island, and you have the nice skeleton chilling right there. Alright, so going back this way into the caves.
Scared.
I have to admire the graphics, how they were able to do that, how it just gets the smoke and the lava dripping down. It's really, quite very intriguing. Now, the Flying Dutchman ship isn't in this game. Davy Jones is in the game, but he's somewhere you would never expect him to be. Well, that's very nice. And some of these areas get very dark, like in the catacombs, there's this area in a sequestered region where it's very dark. And you have a bunch of skeleton pirates just hanging around. That's a miner right there. Tried a fishing from docks. I hear you actually rent a fishery. Yeah, in the game, you could get a fishing boat and fish on the water, and you could catch all the fish deep down in the sea. Hello, Danielle. It's great to see you. I am doing a late night. I started kind of late than the usual late night lives, but yeah, I'm doing a late night gaming stream, and yeah, and over where you are, it's probably about you say 6 a.m. over there. It's 5:07 over there. It's 5:07. Yeah, so where I am, it's 4:07. Yeah, so I had a good stream earlier. It was, great streaming week, and decided to do this also. All right. So you have that rock. You have all these different silver things right there. Danielle, I hope Good morning to you. Hope you're doing fantastic. So I saw the moon earlier. I was at Five Cats stream. I did some. I saw the cats too. I saw cats earlier, my own cats. Yeah, so some more Karen Reed cringe we'll see today, and we're having concerns that the Koberger trial is going to be divided, like the Karen Reed trial. Hopefully that's not true. As I said, these graphics in this game, they've come a long way. I remember it will just look like they wouldn't have this red light and the lava in such an intense manner. They really worked hard in this game to make it the way it is. Red Red Crash. Red Crash told me goodbye. Well, he is just a bundle of joy. He's just a cup of sugar. He's honey from Timu. This man's some Timu honey. Let's see what else he says. Have you noticed that the gunsmith have more weapons these days? I haven't really paid much attention to it either way, but yeah, dude was like goodbye. Oh, look at this guy. Samuel Shaw is look
Scared. Scared.
bro is scared. He's hiding behind that thing. If you heard of Raven's Cove, it sharpens your weapons because negotiation will help you there. That's true. Raven's Cove has a bunch of morons where they have a bunch of phantoms there. Oh, that's gold because this is a okay. This is a gold and silver mine. That's what this place is. Danielle said, "Yeah, Karen Reed was intense today. Defense LSC was good. Yes, yes. As I said, it was very funny to watch, and the chat is hysterical. Yeah, shout out to the chat. Very cool people. They most likely went to sleep already, but yeah, thanks for shouting them out. You see, that's silver. That's silver. Yeah, Danielle, I stay up very late. And like yesterday, I was working on the video, and also I was sending some emails. You know, and also I like to take walks in nature and see the moon and stuff. It's also nice. And all this is silver. It's very dark. See the difference, like the catacombs, deep in the catacombs, it's just like darkness. It's like this is like lava darkness, but it's really dark in that other region. Yeah, Trial Chat really enjoys the streams that we do here. Yeah, so there was this game that the pirates used to play called Liar's Dice. It's where you would go and the players would kind of roll the dice, put under a cup, and they would all like guess what the numbers are. So that was something interesting that they used to play, but they don't add that to this game. But they have gambling here, but they just have card games. They don't have like the dice. Nowadays, they would buy it from Timu. All right, Danielle. Good night to you, and thank you for stopping by with us for a second. I really appreciate you. See you later at the trial. If you're there, if you're at the trial, I'll see you there. Thank you, Danielle, for shouting me out specifically. Hello, Aaron. Welcome. Yes, you are waking up to alive. That's true.
Scared.
So, good morning to you, Aaron. I hope that you're having, a good morning. And so, basically, what I used to do late night lives all the time, which I still do them periodically. Because there's a point where there's some issues where I would go and do the streams, but now I do them more earlier. But I still do the late night lives. This is the same game, Aaron, but on a different area, a different level. This is the caves. This is where the inside the volcano. So what this is a mine where they would mine for gold, silver, and gems and stuff. And that's why there's you see, those are the precious metals that they're mining for. And this is in the Caribbean, as you know. And as I said, the game when I was in 2020 and 2019, they didn't have this red light, and the lava wasn't in such detail. It's so amazing what they did with it. And this character right here, which is Red Crash, I talked to him for a second, and he told me goodbye. So he's a bundle of joy. He's sugar, and that's gold right there. All that's gold. This is the enemy right here. Yeah, and the people are shoveling because they're mining. I was talking about Liar's Dice, which is a dice game that the pirates used to play, and they would. And it's about deception, and people guess what the numbers are under the cup of dice. Yeah, this is the track for mining materials and the rocks that they would mine. That's the lava.
Scared.
Aaron said, "Oh, cool. I only have one eye open. Gotta get my morning caffeine. Woke up to a beautiful thunderstorm." Yeah. Actually, I think thunderstorms could be kind of soothing, in the rain. Yeah. We had the rain that you had a little while back. A couple, like a week or two ago, but now it's heading towards where you are. All right, this is El Sudaron. Yeah, that's a zombie pirate. Usually the ones I show y'all are at the sea, but this one is like on land. Then we got the loot pouch. Aaron said, "Yeah, temps are dropping this week, but we need the rain." Okay, BRB, going to get the coffee. All right, Aaron understood. All right, good night to the giant scorpion. Oh lord, the Venus flytrap. All right, gonna get this Timu thing right here. All right. Go, took it out. Timu nighttime. All right. That's a nice waterfall, actually. That's something to appreciate. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, I'm sure they would have. I've been to like the zoo and it looked like that. I said the way the water runs down the way, it's all beautiful graphics. Beautiful graphics. This is the giant alligator. This is the boss alligator right here. This is a croc. Oh, Lord.
Scared.
Okay. I'm going to twirl. Ah, I got it right there. That was pretty cool. That was a nice green color. Alright. Alright, back to the jail. This guy came and attacked me out of nowhere. Alright, I'm back. Okay. Yeah, this is the silver part of the mine again. Okay. Now, where I am, it is very humid. It's not too hot yet, but it's very humid. It makes it feel like hundreds of degrees. Liar's Dice reminds you of a game that I played in school where they would, or a kid, when you'd shake the little thing in the bottle in the cup and you put it down. It's kind of like that. That's an interesting part. Yeah, it's kind of like what it used to look like before it was reconstructed. Well, this cave's pretty interesting. It's winding. Yeah, this is where I was before. This is where we went before. All right. There's a nice dark cave. That's some more gold that's being mined. As I said, I just wandered through this all the time. I just would wander through it. It's nice, I never thought I'd be doing it on YouTube, but here we are. It's been an interesting 5 years. They're Timu scared right there. Okay. Yeah, certainly people would get lost in here. Absolutely. So you got this strange creature right here, which is a crump, a swamp, a stump. It's an evil stump. It's a Timu stump. All right, took them down. Yeah, so that's basically this area. It's like inside the cave. There's this area where they have this green oasis. It's quite fascinating. Okay, what's in here? All right, this is the exit. All right, this is the exit. Now this is where does this lead to? Okay, it goes directly into Cell Duran. All right. Dude flipping a coin, and then you got this here. Yeah, all those are NPCs. Little critters are funny. That's the above ground tune that they have. Alright, this is back into the Lava Gorge cave. Yeah. Called Beckett's Quarry. In the silver section we go. This is a dead end right here. This is certainly a labyrinth. Another dead end. Okay, interesting. Alright, this is the catacombs. Catacombs part of the game. One of my friends is still online. I don't know if in the game, I don't. She might just be incognito. Then you got the two characters. They're supposed to be in the same team, but they're fighting each other. Go this way to the main road. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about. You see, it's all really dark in here. So, see, look how dark it is in here. There's no lava light or anything. It's pitch black in here. Well, you could still see the character, but there's no natural lighting. There's a coffin. This is like one of my favorite areas in the game. Some skulls. Got some like vampires in here or something. It's very dark in this place. So dark you barely see the silhouettes. Aaron said, "LOL. I overpoured my coffee and we lost power. Off to a great start."
Scared.
Well, it sucks when the power goes out. I know that for a fact. But I don't know like the weather. You said the weather it's dropping. If it's not, I mean, yeah, just you get some nice a jacket, some what you probably have on something like that, or a hoodie, whatever, and get yourself warmed up. Because it's what we were saying. It's getting colder. Yeah, where I am, it's extremely humid. But yeah, and then you report the coffee. Yeah, it sounds like a great morning to start with. Yeah. Yeah, I've been up the entire time since when you saw me yesterday. These are the catacombs. It's a part of the game. So this is part of the game called the catacombs. And Aaron said, "Lucky it came on quick enough because every appliance turned on at the same time like a horror movie." Ah, beautiful light show outside. Are you talking now? I know you said storming. Now, one thing I'm thinking of is the Northern Lights. I don't know if you're talking about that. I know you're not talking about the Northern Lights because it's storming, but there should be something like that that might occur because of the sun's solar flare on our planet. I know you were talking about a thunderstorm, but that's what that reminded me of. But yes, that's the thunderstorm sounds very lovely. The thunder and lightning. It's a beautiful show to see. Yeah, the lights dashing and cascading across the sky. Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah, see, look how dark it is in this place. Oh, Timu darkness. Yeah, in a couple of different continents, their radio sensors went out in a couple of different places. Yeah, this is another part of the caves. I said these are catacombs. These are where all the zombie pirates dwell. It's different than the other part of this cave where you have so many red lights, like because of the lava. This place is just complete darkness. This is actually the perfect part of the game to be in while it's dark and it's like stormy where you are. It's a perfect type of weather to see this part of the game. Yeah, those are some skulls. Yeah. All right. A couple of the coffins that are just hanging there, and as I said, there's nothing there. All the different people escaped. That one's still closed, but yeah, very dark lighting in here. So that aura is what you can see of the cave, the the lava in the distance. Gonna have some more Karen Reed cringe today. As I said, I used to wander around this a lot when I was many years ago. I used to just kind of wander around these, but now I'm on YouTube doing it. It's quite interesting. All right, so that's the catacombs. This is the entrance of it. This nice, mysterious light of phantoms, right there. Aaron said, "Yeah, I'm dying here with all the trials selections. It reminds me of Christmas break where I was going through trial withdrawals." Yeah, it is like Christmas break. I remember with Christmas break. Now, what I did during Christmas break was I watched a lot of movies on YouTube, and I mean, I know that you were having a withdrawal, but I still like watching trials. But I was watching I was pretty much binge watching a bunch of movies, and at nighttime I would get my computer updated. Yeah, you're getting the shakes. Yeah. I had to. I used to fill the void. I watched movies. Yeah, and then Moki was the one, and a couple other people that requested me doing the live stream during the daytime, and I'm so glad that I did that. It is. It's been because my other subscribers watch it, and I always want. I always you see in the very beginning. I only did them at night because there was some other back in the past. There were some problems with getting it done earlier, but I rearranged the schedule where I could get it done during the evening and during the day, and it took me a little while to get it set up the correct timing. And yeah, I was just doing the stream in the evening and got all of you there because it's when it's earlier, it could be more people there. And then when I did it during the daytime, it was, I say, great for the channel, very great for the channel. But the most important thing though is that all of y'all enjoy it and have a good time. So I'm glad that I was able to help in this time period with the lack of streaming, of lack of trial selection. I always will periodically do the daytime streams, but I will watch the trials. Of course, I always watch them. Aaron said, "Good old Moki saving the chat. She's not wrong. It's great, especially given we're all spread out Our chat is too busy to join. Exactly, exactly. Yeah, shout out to Moki. All hail Moki. Very, very cool that she did that for all of us. And you see, these are some. This is a zombie pirate and a navy person fighting each other. Well, that's something else. This is the back door of the catacombs. Yeah, she was. I remember one Saturday she was saying she needed a live stream, and I'm like, all right. Oh, look at this. This is another cool part of it. This is where they used to put all the coffins and the bodies, and you have some skeletons, but most of these things have woken up and they're wandering around. But yeah, this is where they would stack the coffins. This is like a mausoleum. This place looks like hell, really. Yeah, and earlier we had it was very cool to have that. This fire looks so realistic. Wow, that's the most realistic I've seen this game looking. The technology these days are improving. Now, one thing that I will say is that I experienced the early 2000s and some of the like kind of 90s style stuff. Now, I will say though, with the technology that we have now, I'm glad that we're able to connect this easily with live streaming and stuff like that. So as I said, I like the era that I was born into, in spite of the flaws in it, and I'm glad that I was, where I am in this time, place, and space. You know, because in previous generations they wouldn't be able to do stuff like this. Yeah, so that was some little fire pit, but yeah, so the catacombs are very, very dark, very dark. And yet, and Mikey B was asking me, do I think that YSL or Karen Reed's more entertaining? Now, thanks, Aaron. And y'all made this time period great for me. Also, to have all of you with me is very important because y'all are the show, the chat. So that's another thing about it. Bringing y'all with me was very important. And I think with YSL, it was more unity and more strength, and it was also entertaining that we all roast the trolls. But in this chat and the Karen Reed chat, we're all divided and fighting each other. It's like a civil war. It's basically, as I said, like a civil war. That's what the chat's like. And you're going to have people years from now that are going to be on the side of Karen Reed if she won or lost, and they'll say Karen Reed will rise again, or they'll say Karen Reed will be guilty again, or something. So I think that the Karen Reed trial is very entertaining, but I don't think it's as entertaining because there's so much division. I don't like the chats in Karen Reed trial. I've learned a lot, but it's still at the cost is a great cost. Oh, look at this. So this is Jolly Roger. He's the zombie pirate who raids the pirate shores, and he also destroyed Raven's Cove. All right, the dude took me out. before I could go around and react. All right. Hilarious, Aaron. Hilarious. That did this bloke passed away in here. Yeah, because I understand, y'all don't like to get fight in those chats. It gets really cringe. Aaron says, "Okay, friend, I'm sure others will join us soon, or you can get sleep before trials. Gonna get my day started." All right, Aaron, I I am gonna be ending it, and I'm gonna get some rest and then see the trial later. And yeah, you Aaron, start your day. I'm not gonna be on for much longer. I waited a little bit to talk to you again, but yeah. So thank you for hanging out with me. We'll see you later on today at some point. All right. And shout out to Aaron and chat. Probably stay on this island. All right. Yeah, this is the area where they have a piece of meat just like frozen in the ground, like just like stuck there. All right, I'm about to be ending it. All right. So walk in here real quick. This is this tavern. Seas and it's blackjack. Okay, that is it. All right. Stay on this island. All right, everybody. So this was the gaming stream for the night, and all of you watching a replay, thank you. Those that stayed here, appreciate all of you, and I know it's very late, and y'all have a great day, and going live again on Friday during the day, most likely. Maybe in the evening, but most likely during the day. Alright, so everybody have a good one, and peace.